Violet here, second generation homeschooling mom of 3. I have an 8-year-old, a 5-year-old, and an infant. Today I wanted to share with you some of the books that we checked out from our library in September. So let's get into it. So I'm going to start with picture books and kind of family books we checked out, and then I'll show you the graphic novels and things like that that my daughter is reading. So these first 4 books are all Grace Lynn books, so I've kind of grouped them together. September is when the Mid-Autumn Moon Festival is. My daughter goes to a Mandarin Chinese school, and so they always learn about the Mid-Autumn Moon Festival and then pass out moon cakes. So I always check out this book and read it as a family just so that everybody's kind of on the same page with that. We like all of Grace Lynn's books, so we always check out her seasonal ones kind of throughout the year when they get to whatever the next festival is, especially because my daughter is going to a Mandarin school, and so she's talking about them in her class, and she's very, very interested in all of them as well. This is another Mooncake Festival book. This one's a little bit more like a story and less about the festival itself. It's about a little girl who, there's a mooncake hanging in the sky, and she just can't wait to eat it, so she keeps nibbling it until it's all gone. So it's kind of talking about the phases of the moon as well. My son especially likes this one. These next 2 don't have anything to do with the Moon Festival. They're just other Grace Lynn books that I saw and we haven't checked out before, so I wanted to read them. This is called Our Food, A Healthy Serving of Science and Poems. And so each page has a very short poem and then some science facts about whatever the food thing is. So my kids thought this was kind of fun. This next one's called Once Upon a Book, and it's about a girl's journey into various books. My kids like these books about reading books where the characters in the book are interacting with the books, if that makes sense. So they enjoyed this one too. I think this might be one of her older ones. This page looks a lot like Mooncake for Little Star book. But yeah, that was a cute one. This next book I saw recommended on American Indians in Children's Literature. I'll link that website down below. It's really, really helpful. It has a lot of really good resources. But this is a new book that's a brief overview of the history of the American land. So it talks about how this girl lives here now, but before her, other people lived there. And before even that, the indigenous peoples lived there and what happened to them and where they are now. So it definitely brings it back to the present, which is good. These next few books are kind of more like wordplay kind of things. So this is the Bee on Your Thumb, 60 Poems to Boost Reading and Spelling. And my daughter is actually reading these on her own. She thought they were really silly. So she's at the right level to appreciate this kind of spelling and wordplay. I read some to my son as well, and he liked them too, but he got bored a lot more quickly than my daughter did. This P is for Pterodactyl, the worst alphabet book ever. My kids both thought that this was hilarious. So just kind of goes over some of the oddities in English spelling and pronunciation. Oh, this next one, my daughter has read all the How to Train Your Dragon books, and this is the very first kind of like prequel book that's about the main character in that when he was a little kid. So my daughter saw it at the library, so we checked it out. All right, the next 2 books I have are kind of more nature themed, I guess. On a Mushroom Day. My husband really likes mushrooms and like looking for them and identifying them, so I thought this would be a fun book, and the art in it is just really gorgeous. So it talks about different kinds of mushrooms you might find and how to look for mushrooms and things like that. And then it has a little bit in the back about identifying mushrooms. Not enough for you to go out and then forage mushrooms on your own. Mushrooms are tricky, but a little bit to kind of get you started. In a similar vein, I really like birds. So this next book is about bird watching and how you would start bird watching and kind of the things you need to look for when you're looking for birds. This book is just called Pond, and it's everything that happens in a pond in a year. So I did not read, like on some of these pages, there's a lot of information. I just read kind of the text up here, and I would only read something down here if it was something my kids were really interested in. So I really like the illustrations in this as well. This next book is called Rome Antics by Dave McCulley. He has a ton of books. I really like all of his stuff. I'm going to do a video about his architecture series, hopefully soon. But this is Rome from the point of view of a pigeon. So you follow the pigeon through all these Roman buildings, and there is some text at the bottom, but it's mostly just looking at the pictures. And this is modern day Rome as well. So it has some historical buildings and some more newer buildings. And yeah, my kids thought that it was fun to follow the bird through Rome, and I agree. My kids have recently gotten to Minecraft, so we have a ton of Minecraft books out from the library right now, and I'm not going to show you any of them except for this one. This is The Crafter's Kitchen. My daughter's been looking through this recipe book and kind of choosing things for us to do. So we haven't done a ton yet, but she really wants to try this one. She loves sushi. But she's excited to kind of combine Minecraft and cooking. And then we have like all the Minecraft guides out from the library right now. And my kids have been reading those. My daughter really likes cats. So she saw this book at our library. And this is a book about the Hermitage Museum in Russia. It had, I guess, a rat problem. And so Catherine the Great had a bunch of cats come and take care of the rat problem. And so now the museum still has tons and tons and tons of cats living in the basement. And then because my daughter liked this book so much, I checked this book out for her. Atlas of Cats. And this just goes over different kinds of cats, where they can be found, talks about more domestic breeds, and then once it's finished going over domestic breeds all over the world, it talks about wild cats as well. So my daughter liked this book a lot too. So my daughter has been reading through these graphic novels reading lists. She did the K through 2 one, and then now she's finishing up this grades 3 through 5 one. I'll link them down below. I don't have all of the books on there to show you. We've returned a lot of them already, but I'll show you the few that I do have. This book, Just Roll With It, is about a girl living with OCD and kind of managing that. And she finds a therapist and talks with her therapist in this book, which was really cool to see. I don't know that my daughter's read anything that deals so directly with mental health before, so that was really nice. This next book is called Fifth Quarter. It's kind of a sports book, but it's this girl who her mom starts coaching her school's basketball team, and she loves basketball, so it's kind of her struggle with that. But my daughter didn't have much to say about that one. She didn't love it, but she didn't dislike it either. This next one I actually don't think is on that list, but this is one of the Magic Treehouse graphic novels. My daughter hates the chapter books. She thinks they're really boring and she will not read them, which is fine with me because I kind of agree with her. But she really likes the graphic novel adaptations, so she's read all of them. I think this is the most recent one. This next one is by the author of Bad Guys, and he has this new series, Cat on the Run. There's 3 books out right now. I think this is the second one. And so she read this one really quickly. It's very similar in terms of reading level to Bad Guys. I think it actually might even be a little bit easier, but she enjoyed that. She said it was really funny. This next book, Dragon Kingdom of Renly, my daughter has never read the Kingdom of Renly, the main novel series that this is a spin-off of. She tried reading them and said that they took too long to get to the story and they were boring. But these are graphic novels, so she really liked this one. This is the first one, and then she's reading the next few in the series now. This next one, this is the only book on that list that she did not like and did not finish, Garlic and Vampire. And she just said it was really, really boring. So it just didn't appeal to her. This next book is called Felix Powell, Boy Dog. And it's about a boy who can talk to animals, and he meets a lot of different dogs around his neighborhood, and it's just really cute. So that one was fun. And then this book, How to Train Your Dragon, The Complete Book of Dragons. This is just the companion book to the How to Train Your Dragon series that goes over all the different dragons they meet in this series. So my daughter's been reading through this as well. Rereading it. I think we've checked it out before. This next book, Living with Viola, this is my daughter's favorite graphic novel from that 3 to 5 reading list. This is about a girl who's living with anxiety. And my daughter liked this book so much that she read it and finished it and then immediately started rereading it. And I think part of why she liked it so much is the girl in this novel is Chinese and she speaks Cantonese. So my daughter goes to Mandarin school and she's really interested in everything to do with China. So she thought it was really, really cool to see kind of how different Cantonese is from the Mandarin that she's already learned. Plus she enjoyed the story and all of that. So this one was a big hit with her. That's all I have to show you. That's some of the things that we read in September. I hope you found this helpful. I will link everything in the description box below. I am an Amazon affiliate, so if you click on an Amazon link and make a purchase, I will receive a small commission. Thank you for watching.